I've been told I have two problems, and both are in my head. The first problem is I keep looking at my destiny with fear. That's my first problem. Second problem is the financial impact it's going to have on my family's life. So I've been thinking about this for a while, and yesterday when I was at the doctor, after we discussed a couple of things, he told me your issues are all in your head. Okay. All right. Besides the obvious ones, I do have cancer. I do have the cock that I've got. But anyway, besides the obvious ones, my issues are all manifested in my brain, my thoughts, my thought process, my mind. My mind is busy generating its own story. Okay. So I have alluded to my issues in previous videos. I'm sure you guys have picked it up, the ones who are following. And if you haven't followed, please go back and have a look at those, because it will give you a lot of insight about what's going on. And basically, this is a build-up to where I am going. So I've been thinking about it a lot, and I thought to myself, how do I make a comparison, or how can I compare what I'm feeling to a real life situation? Okay, and this is what I've come up with at least. Keep up, see if you can keep up, because there's a lot going on upstairs, and to keep everything in check, I might deviate a few times, but okay, just keep up with me. Okay, so the closest comparison I can make to explain what is going on in my mind, what I'm going through, okay, is to put it into perspective, maybe using an explanation. Let's say a person commits a crime, okay? In my case, I went to my doctor. That was my crime. That person gets caught. In my case, Dr. Ashley, saw my complexion, and he noticed my color. He asked me if everything was okay. That's why I got caught. Then that person goes to trial, because he's been arrested. Now he's going to have his day in court. So he goes to trial. My case, that's when my medical journey began. It began in the form of the barrage of tests, doctor visits, the different doctors I had to go see, different surgeons, physicians, the whole shebang. I mean, you guys have seen these videos, okay? The endless blood tests, the scans, the scrutiny that I went through, been investigated by different types of doctors, questions that I had that kept on going unanswered. There was no direction, okay? So that was my trial, okay? Let's see if you can keep up with this one still. Now, back to the comparison. Let's say that person gets found guilty. In my introspection, that means, well, that's the part where I'm finally diagnosed with what I have. You have to remember, in this comparison, that person didn't commit a cardinal sin or a cardinal crime. It wasn't something that he did that was horrible. He just happened to do something and be at the wrong place at the wrong time. Okay? So that was my situation. So the feelings were, hope was lost. Okay? This is where I was found guilty. So I lost hope. The uncertainty of what comes next. What should I have done differently? Could I have done something differently? And then you got no choice but to surrender to your reality. And that's where I've reached the point where there's no way out of this. It's either or. I did nothing wrong, but I was wronged. Cancer double-crossed me. That's how it feels. Okay, so in this message that I'm trying to bring across is, yes, it feels like a double cross. Going back to the story, the sentencing part. My verdict is handed down. In this case, I have a choice. I either get the death penalty, which is 2 years on death row, or I get 5 years rehab. The choice is obvious. I mean, the serving, not so much, but 5 years of adapting to the new me. Admittedly, it will get easier, hopefully. But the process doesn't. Not in my mind. You still got to get there. Right? So I have to serve my sentence. Okay. Now, once I've served my sentence, I've done time. Hopefully I'm in for a good time and I can get an early release in this comparison. Okay? So let's say I make parole. My life has changed in so many ways. Being on the inside, having to deal with whatever happens in that situation, being in jail, you're in with inmates, all kinds. You might have done nothing wrong and you were sentenced for something that wasn't really sentenciable, if that's a word. But my life changes in so many ways. I won't be able to go back to my ways. Those are gone. I'll probably inherit new traits. I'll definitely new traits. I mean, in prison, you're going to learn all kinds of things just to survive. The same thing applies here. Okay, I will probably, or no, probably, I'll definitely have to adapt to new ones, the new way of life. I'll have to rebuild my immune system. All my infancy vaccines, they're going to have to be redone. Polio, measles. Don't ask me, I can't remember them. And I believe that's from about 6 months on. I have to go through all those things. I'm basically a baby, a reborn baby again. I'll be an old fart with a reconditioned engine. That's what I'm going to be. The foods I once adored, now they might as well be poison because I can't have them. Everything has to be done differently. If I like my steak medium rare, now it's got to be dead. And then once it's dead, they drive a truck over it and then they moor it with a hammer. But at least I'll have to endure this type of diet until I can rebuild the tolerance towards those foods or rebuild my resistance. I don't know. Allergies, there's a new one waiting with every breath I take. Every touch I touch, everything I touch, there's an allergy waiting. The list is endless. I'm sure you get the idea. So I'm trying to portray this thing I have in my head in a way that makes sense. We've all seen a movie like this, okay, where the guy goes to jail, he was wronged, he was wrongfully convicted, whatever. He comes out and he has to start his life over. That's the only comparison I can make regarding this that makes sense to me. And that's the fight that's going on in my head. And the point I actually wanted to make with this was that this is not an issue that I have with my faith. My faith is fine. I know who I have in my corner. I speak with him daily. I speak with Mother Mary daily. My guardian angels, they surround me. My issue is not with faith. Some people think that it's, I've got to pray more, I've got to do this. No, you guys have got it wrong. You got it backwards, actually. My issue is not with faith. My issue is with the shit that cancer is putting me through. The adversity, the challenge, the fight. Everything I have to do just to be able to make it through another day. All right? And I'm sure every cancer victim faces the same challenges. But every one of them will have a different demon to face. We're all unique. Each one of us has got a different way of approaching this, and each one of us will be affected differently. I just want my story to have purpose. If not for that, then what? What's the point of it? And I've asked this question a few times in my life, pre-cancer. I've asked myself, what's the purpose? What is my purpose? Maybe this is my purpose. Maybe it's been leading up to this point. Yeah, like I said, this set of mine is really busy. There's a lot going on upstairs. There's really a lot going on. Okay, so you get the gist of what I was trying to portray. I tried to paint a little picture so you can see what's spinning up here. Now, my next problem. Like I've said before, I'm a control freak. I need to be comfortable with everything, my surroundings, my planning. I have to have my finger on the button all the time, okay? This bloody cancer has messed that plan right up. Financially, that was the worst possible thing to happen to me right now. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I think that this is the number one problem for most cancer victims and their loved ones, okay? Unfortunately, bills don't stop coming. Bills can't be paid with hopes and dreams. That's the reality. Money's got to cover that. In my case, it's become a real festering headache. It keeps pounding. And I keep seeing a situation where the funds will keep diminishing and the bills will keep piling up. They'll keep getting bigger. This is the reality that most people face, not only cancer victims. Anyone needing medical intervention, medical assistance, medical treatment. It's our way of life now. And in my case, it's affecting my ability to focus on maintaining a positive mindset. You know, for you, it can be something comparable, or maybe it's completely different. But for me, my mindset is my biggest enemy. I am trying to keep it straight, but I'm also trying to identify the things that are causing it to deviate. That's why I'm making this video today. It's so I can watch it in replay, see it from a different perspective. Maybe that will open up an avenue in my mind that I haven't been able to. Maybe I'm giving myself some treatment. You know, like I said, please don't crucify me, okay? I'm just telling you my story, raw and unfiltered. I'm trying to tell it as truthful as possible, and I'm being as vulnerable as I can. Okay? If my words can touch just one person, one that's watching right now, that's in a similar position, then these videos are worth sharing with you. As always, I am blessed to have you guys support me. The love you show me, the comments, the messages, the calls, the voice notes. It's, believe me, I'm breathing because of those things. Honestly, I don't know if it's possible to do this alone. I don't know. I'm glad I'm not in that position to find out, but I don't know if it's possible. There's a saying, you need hair on your teeth to face this demon, okay? So my gratitude goes out to you guys in amounts you cannot fathom. I am super grateful. I'm blessed to have the people I have in my life, and to the ones who are not familiar with me, or I'm not familiar with them, my followers, the people who have joined me on this journey, the ones who are starting to comment and send me little notes here and there. Really, guys, you make it worth it for me to keep doing, to keep fighting, to keep moving forward. From my heart to yours, God bless you all. Take care of one another. As you know, I'm all about, right now, my life is that, okay? It's all about love. It's all about gratitude, thankfulness. I don't have any more words. I can't say more than that because that is enough already. Anyway, this is me signing out. Peace to you guys. Take care of one another, okay? And help the ones who need it most, okay? I'll catch you on the next one.